Hey everyone, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Got a question from somebody who posts a lot on my Facebook group, so thanks to them for doing that. So he asked a couple of questions. Hopefully, I got these right. Why are you looking for new economic data as not expected? Do you have any way to measure how, I guess, unexpected it is? Does it make sense? So I kind of think I know what it makes sense with, if that makes sense. Um, So let me give you the rationale. I did the Y charts demo for economic data. The reason I do that, if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll notice on there my Fed analysis. So I'm using a lot of economic data. And I plan to do that with a lot of different central banks just to measure trading activity and the likelihood of interest rate uh, changes or hikes or reductions in interest rates within a central bank, because obviously that impacts their currency, which then um, impacts their currency pairs, which obviously enables you to have various market opportunities. So that's the reason why. And when you study that information, it just gives you the likelihood of what interest rate will go up or down based upon a certain set of conditions within their economy or a trading relationship or something that may externally impact that country. Now, the second part here, if you expect 98 to go to 98.2, I'm not sure if he's referring to the price of a currency exchange or a currency pair, but it goes to 102. Where do you put that level? Now, again, I'm not sure what this refers to. I'm going to assume this is basically price action that you're referring to. On top of that, uh, where do you put that level? Okay, when I'm interpreting here is he's referring to stop losses. Okay, one of my older systems was really good at dynamically setting stop losses. As I've said before in various other videos and webinars I've had, do not tell your broker, whatever broker you're with, let them know that you're going to do a stop loss, because you're telling the broker that you want to get out of a trade at a certain level, which is fine. That makes sense. But they and almost brokers have market making. Their market makers are looking for those type of trades to manipulate and whatnot. We'll call them shenanigans, to make sure that that does not happen, or where prematurely exits a trade when you should be getting higher profit. Just read my FAQ section on the horror stories. There's lots of them. So what can you do about it? As I said, you set within your software a virtual stop loss, meaning you have a price action engine that will watch all your positions that are open, and then you apply a stop loss target both on the upper and lower bounds of that current entry. Once you hit, or once the price action engine or listener or whatever hits either the lower bound or higher bound on your virtual stop loss, you can apply a new one, or you can just basically get out of the trade, depending upon other data that you may be actually listening to at that time. Again, you can do all this automatically. So the nice thing is you can set those stop loss targets virtually and dynamically, and they can change on the fly as well based upon the market conditions. So there's that advantage. As a human trader, when there's fast action, usually you won't be able to respond in time as a human. But when you're doing it with automation, you can definitely uh, get that trade exited faster. But it also depends on liquidity and what else is happening in the markets for that current uh, market asset that you've purchased or put an entry on. So there's a number of factors, but the key takeaway here is, how do I track this? Again, you use virtual stop losses you set virtual target levels for both the upper and lower bound. On top of, you're going to obviously use other market conditions and data that you're going to run in parallel to watch these stop loss levels. Again, you don't signal to the broker that you're setting these stop losses. What you're wanting to do is do it virtually, and then just put in a regular order to get the order filled faster. So that's another technique and advantage that you have at your disposal, as long as your software works properly. Hopefully, I'll help you out and give you a better idea. Now, in terms of asking me what indicators or what data I use to, or even the code to do all that, I've done that in my equity strategy. This is the reason why I try to stress people to become a member. If you don't do it at that point in time, or you quit prematurely, you lose that opportunity. Okay, so I'm not going to come back and say to people, well, sorry, folks, um, you know, I'm not going to dig up code just because you decide to get out or you decide not to take action when I suggest you should. But that's up to you. But those that want something and miss out, what can I do? But that's that. All right. So hopefully it'll help you out. And got more questions? Let them fly. All right. Talk to you later.